Hello everyone, my name is Misha and you are on my channel Misha About Monetization. I am super happy that you joined me today, and today I'm going to talk about what are the most important KPIs when we work with mobile games and actually with most of software as service products. This lesson is not for super guru, so even if you consider that your level is not high, if you have the entry position in the industry or don't work in the industry and just think about how to switch to it, feel free to listen to this video, to watch it. I'll try to explain the basics and I'll be happy to answer you in the comments if you have any questions. Here I have some notes for myself to go through the plan of this lesson, so I'll look into them. And also on my labs there is the laptop, because I'll probably need to draw something for you. So I hope that this lesson will be interesting and it will give some new information for you. And of course, if you are a professional, still feel free to listen to the lesson, ask the questions, disagree with me, it will be good. Okay, and we will start with the very basics, and specifically we will speak about what happens in any product when we work with that, and how we actually make money. And when we want to earn on the product, I will be Captain Obvious, we need to earn more than we spend on it. So let's start with dividing our screen or the page of your notebook into two parts. One is for our costs, another is for our revenue. Let me do it. Okay, not very beautiful line, but it is not that important. Okay, and revenue is here. We need to make it bigger. Oh, okay. I'll just scale it up a bit. I'll need to do it on another computer, but I think it is important for us. Okay, we are now speaking about revenue and costs. Okay, and when we speak about the costs, we don't actually want to talk about such thing as the price of creating the product when we are speaking about software as a service, because create the product is pretty small part of the expenses and we can ignore it for simplicity. At least we can do it as a product managers or as product analysts. And for the same reason, when we speak about revenue, we can safely ignore the revenue which comes, for example, from selling some assets of our company, because it is not about the product. So here, what is very important, we are speaking about the revenue and the costs which depend on our user base. They grow when we have more users. And here we need to discuss one important thing, one important concept. In the economy, in the economics, we often speak about the marginal revenue and marginal cost. And it comes from diminishing returns law. And to say it simple, I can suggest you imagining all people in the world. And all these people in the world love different products. All these people in the world use different products, and somebody needs more of a product, somebody needs fewer of the product. It's super simple, but it's important for understanding. And imagine that of all 8 billion people in the world, you formed a line, and the person who uses some product, most of them, is the first in the line. And the person who doesn't use this product at all is the last in the line. For example, we can imagine I want to use some digital product, so let's say it will be Instagram. Somebody is really addicted to Instagram. They watch every reel they can. They spend every second of their life in the Insta. They like, they comment, they post. They don't even sleep. They watch the Instagram. That's your first person in this line for the Instagram. The last person is one among all the people in the world who don't use Instagram at all. Potentially, they don't use any social media. They don't use internet at all. They don't use any digital technologies at all. This is your list. This is the worst person for the Instagram. Okay, who do you think will bring more revenue to Instagram? It is quite simple that the more time people spend in Insta, the more revenue they can bring. So if Insta tries to gather more users, tries to acquire more users, and they start with users who are excuse me, I need to shout to my cat, Kiwi, don't do that. Don't do that. Kiwi. Kissa. What a girl. Excuse me. Yes. Instagram. If Instagram acquires users, they will definitely have more revenue from some of them and fewer revenue from those who are closer to the end of the line. And if they are absolutely effective with their acquisition, the first person they will acquire will bring them the most revenue. The second, a little less and less and less and less. Of course, nobody is perfect with acquisition, but when we speak about large scale, we are more or less correct. The people who are the best for us we can find them earlier, and they will make us more money. And we need to speak about the second important concept, the law. It also comes from the law of diminishing returns. But now we are speaking not about the costs, not about the revenue, but about the costs. Okay. Again, we put all the people in line, and now we try to show them advertisement. And like some people can watch a lot of ads. They are super exposed to it. they happen to be in the places where ads exist. Also, for example, they are not really valuable for other companies. So we don't need to compete on prices when we acquire them. So we don't need to pay much for such people when we want to attract them to our ads. On the other hand, imagine you can have some billionaire, and everybody wants to show them their advertisement. You don't try to sell free application to Bill Gates. You try to sell him the whole company, the island. I don't know. He's super expensive to see any of your ads. So here again, we can put all the people in the world in line, and some of them will be the cheapest and some of them will be the most expensive in terms of how much it is cost for you to acquire them. And now the interesting part happens. The more people we acquire, the fewer on average every next of them brings us. And the more people we acquire, the fewer on average every next person, not fewer, more every next person costs. So for every new person we earn less, but we pay for them more. And this brings us to the point where we pay just as much as we get from the person. And that's very important concept to keep in your mind. Yes, of course, sometimes our product is not good and we pay for everybody more than they earn. But in this case, the product doesn't live for a long time and it can't pay off. And we are not speaking about this case right now. But what is important is that we have this point of time when our costs per one person and revenue generated by this person are the same. And after that point, if we are maximizing the profit, it makes no sense to increase our user base. Okay, that was important part. And now we can come to the next point. Finally, we can discuss what happens with our revenue when we already acquired the people we need. Okay, so let's take it simple. What is the revenue we generate? How we can try to get a little deeper into it? Well, revenue from all our users is revenue we generate from an average user, so from one person, multiplied by all amount of our users. So here we will introduce two new abbreviations. One is LTV, which stands for lifetime value, and another is, actually it will not be the abbreviation, it is just installs. Great. So we can agree that revenue is amount of our installs, everybody who installed the game or other product, multiplied by lifetime value, the amount of money average person brought us. Great. And just for your information, LTV is one of the most important KPIs product managers and product analysts work on daily basis. This is very often it is the KPI which identifies how well you perform. Okay. Now let's discuss these metrics and see how they are formed. We can start with LTV, and LTV is basically it is lifetime value. So we really split it almost like this. Lifetime value is your lifetime. So how long the average user exists in the game or other product, and it is average revenue per daily active user, or ARPDAU. And of course, we can, for example, measure lifetime not in days, but we can measure it in months. And in this case, instead of average revenue per daily active user, we will speak about average revenue per monthly active user. I hope that it is simple, and we can use just whatever we want. And now we can also speak about what is average revenue per daily active user. In most of products which are free, you earn because of the microtransactions. And since these products are free, not everybody pays during a day. And basically amount of users who pay divided by all the active users will give you the conversion. Or in other words, conversion is the chance that user will pay at any given day. It is one part of average revenue per daily active user. And another part of average revenue per daily active user is average revenue per paying user over the same period. So we take users who pay, and we know how much they pay on average. And we take the chance that they become paying users during a day. And we multiply these two numbers, and we get the average revenue per daily active user. It's simple. Then we multiply it by lifetime, how many days user live for us, and we get lifetime value. Then we take installs, the whole amount of users who we have in our game, and multiplying these two values, we get the revenue. For example, let's say my conversion is 10%. And the revenue per paying user is $10. It will make the average revenue per daily active user $10 multiplied by 0.1, which is the same as 10%. It will make it $1. Lifetime. For now, we are not discussing how it is formed. It is a little more complex and nothing too difficult, but for now we will just use some value which we somehow measured. For example, lifetime of the user is 30 days. In this case, lifetime value for this user will be $30. Once again, average users who pay in a particular day gives us $10. Chance that they pay is 10%. $10 taken from every 10th user give us on average $1 from one user. Lifetime is 30 days. 30 days multiplied by $1 per day gives us $30. And that's per one user. And for installs, for example, we are speaking about some big application, and we are speaking about 1 million of installs. And in this case, when we speak about the revenue, we just need to multiply our $30 by 1 million installs, and it makes it $30 million. Okay, we are done with the revenue actually. Congratulations. Now we can move to the costs, and it will be a little simpler here. Why? Because costs on the product side are usually not that deep, and often on the marketing side, when we are talking about the costs, it comes to the mix of different traffic sources, but at the end we are doing the same exercise, but again and again optimizing different options, let's say. Okay, here we also can start really simple, like what are our total costs over lifetime of existence of our application? Well, this will be again installs, and yes, it will be the same number as we had on the left part of the equation, and it will be cost per one install, or CPI. It is another very broadly used metric. And for the installs, basically that's the amount of people who are good for us to buy, and cost per install. What is that? Again, in most cases, you just need to know that it is cost per install. But if we go a little deeper, cost per install can be considered as the funnel. On the bottom level of it, we have this cost per install, or amount of installs we get from some campaign we set up in our marketing sources. But there is if we go one level to the top, we will speak about cost per click and conversion from clicks to the installs. So we can here say CPC, cost per click, and CTR, usually it's called CTR2. That's conversion to, because it is the second step which is measured. And if there is CTR2, we definitely need to guess. We can guess that there is also CTR1, and we can also start it actually, mention it actually, CTR1. But what is this CTR1? Okay, we know that user can click and with some chance install our game. What happens before user click? User sees the advertisement. So between what they see and what they click, there's also the difference. There's also some chance that they will not click. They don't click everything they see. Actually, here most of people are lost. Just imagine your own path. You look through your Insta feed, you see the advertisement, and most likely you just scroll it. But if you clicked it already, clicked it on purpose, of course, and you see it in the, for example, in the store, in iOS store or Google store, and it is the application, you will download it. You are much more likely to download it now than you were to click it when you just saw it. So this CTR1 is is less than CTR2 usually. And again, to get the cost per click, we have another part of the equation, which is cost per impression, what we call that's how we call the one time when user see the ads. But because cost per one impression usually is quite small, we more often speak about cost per mille, which means the price we pay for 1,000 impressions. Cost per mille, or CPM. Okay, let's jump to another part of the equation with our costs on this. First of all, we still need to remember that we have 1 million of installs. It is the same, like we can't get 1 million of installs to get revenue from, but not have spendings on them. Yes, we can get some free traffic, but here we are speaking about the general distribution. And now we can also start to feel this. We can start to feel this table or this tree from the bottom. So, for example, cost per mille can be $20. I am using some acceptable rate. And for example, we have CTR equal to 1%. CTR equal to 1% means that for every impression I have, only one person of 100 will click the ad. Or to say it in other words, I need 100 people to watch the ad so that only one clicked. Okay, now we can calculate the cost per click from this. So cost per mille is $20, which makes actually cost per one impression 2 cents, 1,000 times less. And we need 100 of these impressions. So we had 2 cents here, which will make us $2. That's how much one click costs to us. Now the person clicked the ad and they already may want to install your application. but maybe they checked your screens and your screenshots, your videos on the store page, and they didn't like it. Maybe they just accidentally clicked. Maybe something else. Maybe even they will install the game but will never open it. So here we are speaking about some conversion from click to install. And let's say your CTR2 will be equal to 10%. And in this case, you need 10 people to open the store page with your game, and only one of them will install the game, which makes the cost per install 10 times higher than cost per click. It's $20. You see, CPI is equal to CPM here. That's just because the chance that one person will click and then install here is 1% multiplied by 10%, which is 0.1%. And it is 1 person per 1,000. And here we say that we pay $20 per 1,000 impressions. Voila, it is $20 per one install. Now again, we have 1 million users who installed the game. For each we paid $20, and it makes $20 million of costs, which were generated by user acquisition. And now we can introduce one more important KPI. That's also often a metric which is used to estimate your performance. It is return on acquisition spending, or ROAS. Basically, it's very simple. It's how much every dollar you spend for the acquisition brings you back. And it is basically mean that if we divide our revenue by our costs, here we will get $30 million divided by $20 million, and it will be $1.5 per not dollars, 1.5, just 1.5 or 150%, because every dollar brings us a little more, like it brings us plus 50%. Actually, we can calculate ROAS a little differently. We can notice that revenue is lifetime value multiplied by installs, and costs is CPI multiplied by installs. So if we divide both numbers by installs, we will get LTV divided by CPI. And basically it is $30 divided by $20, and no surprise, it is the same, 1.5 or 150%. For the real product with $20 million budget, it will be pretty good return on spending. And basically that's the most important KPIs which you as a product manager or product analyst or game designer may work. Let's repeat it. We have revenue and costs. They are like top level KPIs. Revenue consists of LTV, or basically revenue per one person for their life, and installs, how much such persons, such people we have. LTV is lifetime multiplied by how many money average person brings us during an active part of their life, at one day, for example. And average revenue per daily active user here can be considered as combination of conversions, or a chance for the person to pay, and average revenue per paying user, basically how much they pay. When we speak about the costs, it is installs, again, multiplied by cost per one install, how much we pay for one person. And cost per one install can be decomposed into costs per click, costs per milli, or per 1000 impression. And here we are not multiplying CPC by CTR or CPM by CTR1, but we are actually dividing because CTR is the result of amount of clicks divided by installs, or impressions divided by clicks. And at the end, at the highest level, we can combine our revenue with our costs. And the most important KPI here will be ROAS. And I hope that it was important and helpful lesson for you. Next time I want to tell, in this cycle of the videos, I want to tell more about how lifetime is calculated, because it is the whole different topic. Please let me know if it was interesting, if not everything was clear. This was the new format for me. I tried to do it without much edits, and I tried to decompose the material to simpler terms, but probably it is still not that simple as I want it to be. So please let me know if it is the case. And of course, I would be grateful if you hit the like button, ring the bell, subscribe to my channel, you know, all this stuff which bloggers usually ask you to do. And I hope to see you soon. Ciao.